What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Go up the deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, what's going on, boys and girls? Good afternoon or good evening, if you will. It's almost 5 o'clock on the East Coast. Welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. I'm Christopher James, and we are here for the UFC on ESPN Plus 39 post-fight show. We are live today from the Cage Side with Christopher James studio right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Feel free to jump in and leave some comments, man. We are going to have a good time. Before we actually get into the fight card, you know, some of the stuff that happened last night during the post-fight press conference was, needless to say, disturbing to me because I don't like what they're doing with the middleweight title. Here we go again with another champion that the UFC is trying to, you know, ride the back of, fire, and make money off of, and move him to another division. So now we're going to have the middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya, moving up to light heavyweight to take on Jan Blachowicz for the light heavyweight championship. Something that Adesanya was afraid to do. That's right, I said afraid. I said he was afraid to do it when John Jones was the champion. Now John Jones walked away, and all of a sudden Izzy's like, oh, I'm ready to take on the light heavyweight champion. Of course, he was talking years ago about doing it when in 2021 with Jones, but of course Jones left the division, and now Izzy wants to fight in that division. I don't like it. I'm tired of champs because you can't. The only person who successfully can defend them both is Amanda Nunes because there's such a lack of top tier talent that they can actually let her fight 3 times a year, you know, and defend both belts. Other than that, in the other divisions, there's too much talent behind us, in the men's divisions, I should say. There's too much talent sitting there waiting to get a shot. So why are fighters being stuck waiting? I don't get it. It's wrong. It holds up division. Now we're going to have 2 divisions that are going to be in a state of disarray, light heavyweight and middleweight, as we sit and wait. Allegedly, the title fight with Adesanya at middleweight was offered to Robert Whittaker after his recent win, and allegedly he said no. Now, he did say he wanted to celebrate Christmas and the birth of his new child. So why not let him do that? And then, you know, let him fight, you know, for the title. He's earned the title shot. So why are we sitting here waiting for, why are we sitting here moving forward with the light heavyweight division when there's other people out there? I mean, Glover Teixeira is, you know, on a 4-fight win streak. There's Thiago Santos out there. There's other guys that are more worthy, especially Glover. Glover Teixeira is more worthy of a title shot at light heavyweight than Israel Adesanya is. That's 100% true. Yet we're going to sit here and we're going to take Adesanya because, you know, he's popular and because he is, how shall we say, a needle mover. So he's going to get to fight for the light heavyweight championship of the world against a guy who, you know, while he's the champion, he's a badass. I'm not going to take anything away from him. Stylistically, I think it's an advantage for Israel as far as speed and length and everything. But I mean, Jan, don't sleep on him. I mean, I'm hoping Jan knocks him out. So, you know, I always said that I would take Israel after he won his last fight. I would pick him in his next fight, but I'm not going to pick him in the light heavyweight fight. I just don't think that, 1, he should be getting the light heavyweight fight. And 2, I think at the end of the day, the power that he's going to have to face is going to be the deterrent for him to win. So, you know, I don't get it. I don't get it. We are live today, like I said, in the KHR Christopher James Studios. I don't know if you can see my shirt, but this is it's the Bob Ross Christmas shirt, but it's my violent Bob Ross, Luis Antonio Pena. Let me move my microphone out of the way for a minute. You guys can still hear me, but you can see right there, violent Bob Ross, and a Christmas hat. Look at that. So that's what I got going on today. And feel free to jump in with the commentary, guys. If you don't like what I'm saying, call me out. If you do like what I'm saying, give me some praise, man. We're doing stuff here. So, so what's your thoughts on that? Israel Adesanya getting a title shot at light heavyweight? Let me pull up the rankings just for shits and giggles. I'm going to use the MMA Junkie rankings as well. I'm not even going to use the UFC's. Oh, here we go with this stupid shit. I hate when they do this to me. All right, so ranking, boom, boom, boom. I gotta expand this from right here. There we go. Rankings. So if we go to the light heavyweight division, and by the way, what the hell happened there? Jesus, man, what's up with this bullshit? All right, so this is pound for pound. So let's go to the light heavyweight division. Jan. They still have John Jones listed as the number one, which is great, ahead of the champion, which I fucking love. But it's Jan, then Dominic Reyes, Vadim, Nurmagomedov, but he's not in the UFC. So then you scroll down. What the hell? Is this even right? All right. So Jan, Dominic ain't gonna get shot. Glover, Alexander Rakic, Anthony Smith, he's useless. Gustafson, no. Santos. So, there are guys for here to fight Jan. Now, if we go to the middleweight division, let me double check that right here. So you got Israel, you got Whitaker and Costa. Costa just lost the title shot. You got Cannonier just lost, or Hermanson. You got Yoel, who's fought him already. Derek Brunson, Gegard, but he's not in the UFC. So then you got Darren Till. Now, Darren Till, if Darren Till gets a win, his next fight, why not give him the title shot if Whitaker doesn't want it? Darren Till and Israel Adesanya can sell the hell out of a fucking fight. I mean, we all know that. So why would they not give him the fight? I mean, if this is about making money and doing something exciting, because let's be honest, Israel and Jan, it's going to be a one-sided promo. It's going to be all about Israel, and Jan's going to just get left in the background. He's not very personable. He's not really marketable. He's not loud and boisterous. So, you see some of his Twitter responses. He's, mediocre at best. But, the powers that be, Dana White wants to promote Izzy. So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Izzy get a title shot that he does not deserve, shouldn't be getting, but he's getting. So, that's what they do. And also shortly, could have Garrett Kerman, the fight analyst, probably join me on the show here in a few minutes. So for you guys that are watching, like I said, leave some comments. If you're watching the show right now, we are live. So leave some comments in here. I'm looking for comments. If you guys want to tell me your thoughts on the fight card last night, I thought it was a phenomenal fight card. I felt the first half delivered huge. I mean, huge. I mean, in the first, let's see, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the first 6 fights, we had 5 finishes. One of them was a submission. The rest of them were KO, TKOs, and we had 1. So yeah, 5 finishes. No, 5 finishes, 1 decision. Strickland and Marshman. That was a hell of a fight. Sean Strickland talking shit in that fight, man. And I hope when Garrett comes on, we talk about this. But Sean Strickland in that fight was killing me. He gets the win. And it was crazy. He was talking so much shit. You're in the apex, you hear everything. So he's on there talking shit. He's going, "Why won't you fall down, Jack? Why won't you fall down?" And then in the last round, he's like, "I'll give you a chance to win. You've got 30 seconds left. Come on, Jack, do something. Stand there and fight me. You got 10 seconds. Boom." He was just talking so much smack, man. I was highly entertained. I was laughing. I was literally laughing when I was watching this because it reminded me of, guys like Michael Jordan talking shit to other ball players when they're playing the game on the court. He's just up there bumping them and grumping them and doing his thing. So I was loving life. And, it's entertaining. At the end of the day, I mean, we're supposed to be entertaining, right? So that's what we got yesterday. We got entertained, and It was absolutely, absolutely fucking outstanding, and I loved it. Now, also, hold on, I want to pull something else up here before we get into the fight from last night. Let me pull it up here. Hang on, I'm sorry, guys. So, when I was, God damn, I hate fucking MMA junkie sometimes, but there was something here I wanted to share with you guys. So, hold on. That's why I was grabbing the wrong tab. Pardon me, guys. Sometimes I do that. When the post-fight conference took place with Dana White, and he said that he was going to book Israel. I just felt this. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I felt this disconnection, if you will. Listen, they did it with Conor, and Conor, never defended a belt. DC defended belts. Amanda Nunes defends belts. Henry Cejudo didn't once he dropped one when he won the other one. But it's like, they do all this stuff to draw us in, to get us excited about fights and the UFC and the athletes that participate in it. And then just when we're getting a groove on it, we got solid champions in every division. The divisions are moving forward. There's no interim champions floating around. And then all of a sudden, boom, let's go back to the other way. Let's go ahead and make, the middleweight and the light heavyweight divisions pause for one guy, for Israel, because that's why they're doing this. It's not for anybody else's benefit. It's for Israel's benefit and the UFC's benefit. And I'm not a big fan. I felt like all my years of putting in time and, learning about the UFC and learning about the division and keeping up with the new guys as they come in is just like, all right, look, man, we know that you know all this and that, and and we know that you're a really big fan of this division, but we're going to just change things up and we're going to put together more champ fights, more possibilities for champ fights. And why? With John Jones leaving light heavyweight, it's definitely lost all its personality. Let's be honest. There's nobody else in the light heavyweight division that brings the personality, style, and flair of John Jones. And I'm sure that has a lot of the reason to do with why the UFC is moving Israel up. But it's a money grab. They want to, do that. And, if Israel leaves middleweight, there's no real personality there. So, we're going to be stuck with, two non-exciting division. And what if Israel loses? So, which I'm hoping he does, because I'm going to get it right one time with that guy. I've never picked Israel to win a fight. I've always picked against him, even though he's proven me wrong every time, and sometimes in spectacular fashion. I just, I can't buy in. I'm not sold on the guy. Even after his last fight against, Paulo Costa, while he decimated him and dominated, there's just something about him that rubbed me the wrong way. That I just don't feel he's got the longevity, to be the man. Yeah, he's talented. Like I said, when you guys hear me talk about him, he's a talented dude, man. He goes out there, he's undefeated. Obviously, he's good. He's damn good. But it doesn't mean that I have to buy into it. So I don't. So anyway, all right, let's jump in on this fight card. Hopefully Garrett will join us here shortly. He is the fight analyst. He's got his own, Facebook show, and you can catch him at the Fight Analyst all over. On Twitter, it's Fight Analyst, because somebody put the in front of their show, the Fight Analyst, even though it's not really a Fight Analyst show. But we're going to jump into this card, man. So like I said, we had 11 fights last night live from the Apex. It was good to have the UFC back here in the States after a nice little run over at Fight Island for 5 weeks. And, we start out the night, and first fight of the night, Miles John against Kevin Nativdad. That's that good, baby. It was a good fight, man. It went to the third round, and then Miles Johns did And I fucked up on this too when I put my picks up yesterday. I meant to pick Johns, and I also meant to pick Jason Witt, and for some reason, when I did my picks, I hit the wrong guys. So I went 7-4 yesterday. I should have been 9-2, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Once I saw that I had already posted it, I didn't go back and edit it and try to change it. So I took 2 L's yesterday that I didn't need to take. But anyway, so Miles Johns comes out there, and man, the knockout that he popped on Kevin Novtod, I mean, it like folded him and made him like spring, perfectly placed fucking uppercut. It was absolutely gorgeous to watch. I was floored. Miles Johns put on a show. Miles Johns is somebody that the guys in his division at bantamweight better pay attention to and take seriously, because he's coming in. He's got big power. He's a tough guy. He can take it as much as dish it out. And, he ended up with a $50,000 bonus for that, and deservedly so. This guy came out there, and he was the favorite in the fight, but he delivered. He delivered big, started the night off right, set the tone for the rest of the card. We move into the second fight of the night, a light heavyweight fight. Speaking of the light heavyweights, and we've got Dustin Jacoby and Dustin and Justin fight. So we've got Dustin Jacoby and Justin Ledet going at it. 2 guys. Yep, I'm still on. Yeah, come on. Garrett's coming in now. So yep. So we're gonna hold off for a second. He's gonna come in and join us right now. And I'll keep talking about this fight as he comes in. Dustin Jacoby and Justin Ledet. And like I said, the Dustin Justin fight, man. I like that. We might have a Dustin Justin lightweight fight for the lightweight title, although now Dana White, going backwards to the press conference, says the lightweight championship still belongs to Khabib Nurmagomedov. He really believes Khabib is going to come back and fight again and go for 30-0. I don't think so. Like I said, I believe Khabib when he said he's done. I believe Khabib when he said he wants to fly and be free. He wants to fly and be free. He wants to do what he wants when he wants. He wants to hang out with his friends and family. He wants to go back home and live in his village in Dagestan. I just don't see him being overly excited about doing this again. His father's not there with him. He really does want his father around. So, and we know that's never going to happen again because his father passed away. And like I said, his word means too much to him. I believe the fact that his word was given to his mother that last fight against Justin Gaethje was going to be his last fight. I don't think he'll go back on it. I don't care if it's GSP and Anderson Silva in one fight against him and he's making $25 million. I just don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong, but he doesn't seem to get overly blown away about the money. So he likes to fight. He likes to compete. I just don't see the money being able to bring him back. The GSP fight might tempt him. I still don't think that he's coming back. But Dana White disagrees with me. Dana White knows more than I do about what Khabib's going to do. So what do? We sit and wait. So anyway, we go back to Dustin Jacoby and Justin Ledet. Sorry, I got sidetracked there, guys. These guys went at a light heavyweight fight. And these guys are, going to make some noise in this division. 2 knockdowns occurred in the fight. Both were landed by Dustin Jacoby, and then he finishes the fight with a KO, the KO TKO finish. Round 1 at 2:38 of the round. He looked good in his return because I'm pretty sure this was his return to the octagon because he has been there before, and he looked pretty damn stellar, if you ask me. I thought it was a great performance. He showed that he's here and that he wants to do this. So, he appreciates being back in the octagon. So I'm glad that he made his way back. I'm glad that he got the big win. And, that's what we got there. So it was a good fight. And, and sometimes when you break down these fights, it's funny because, what do you talk about when a guy, knocks a guy out, like, halfway through the round? I mean, he looked crisp and clean. He lay crisp and clean. I almost thought I said Krispy Kreme. He looked crisp and looked clean in all his punches. I mean, he only landed 22 punches, knocked him down twice, and then he just knocked him out. So it was a really good fight. And I was happy to see, both these guys, get in the octagon, throw down and square up. So hold on one second. I'm getting a message from in other news, football news, my New York Jets got their ass kicked again today. They're now 0-8 for the season. They're on the way to 0-16. The Kansas City Chiefs destroyed them. I don't know how many of you guys watch football. I got the red zone on up here on the flat screen. Excuse me. Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns against my Jets. So embarrassing. So embarrassing to be a Jets fan. But, that's the way it goes. Next, we move on. Again, I'm gonna wait for Garrett, but I'm gonna keep rolling forward. Garrett can jump in, and we can recap some of these fights if he wants to. Jason Witt and Cole Williams. What a fight! And these are the kind of fights I like. Jason Witt comes in, and mind you, this fight ended in the second round, right? So with this fight ending in the second round, I'm gonna pull up the full stat line of this one because in 2 rounds, Cole Williams landed 1 out of 5 strikes. Jason Witt landed 20 of 31, or actually 1 out of 5 for Cole Williams. He ended up significant strikes, pardon me. 23 for 27 and 50 for 70 for Witt. Takedowns, took place, 2 of them for Witt. And this kid just went out and put on a show. He had the fabled James Krause in his corner. And in the second round, leading up to the finish, it just blew me away. So Jason Witt picks up Cole Williams, and he doesn't just pick him up and dump him. He picks him up, and he carries him all the way across the octagon and then slams him down in front of his own corner, in front of his corner. So Jason Witt brings him and puts him in the corner so he can continue to take in the coaching advice of James Krause, which, I get, during these fights, right now at the Apex and on Fight Island. Oh, they're showing highlights of my team just getting smoked. Oh, God. But anyway, on Fight Island, you can hear everything. So you can hear your coach as well. So the fact that Jason Witt was relevant, was awake and fully invested in this fight and thinking, he pulled that off. And here he is, the fight analyst joining us. But Witt carries him across the octagon, dumps him in front of James Krause, and then mauls him and finishes him, subs him out with that arm triangle. By the way, Bruce Buffer announced that wrong yesterday. He goes, hey, it was a triangle choke. No, Bruce, it wasn't a regular triangle. It was an arm triangle. There is a difference. You have to fucking signify that. I pay attention to that because I'm an announcer as well. Guys, welcome to the show. Garrett Kerman, the fight analyst. He's joining us right now. By the way, thanks to my sponsors, Just Heart Apparel, Legacy Over Ego, motherfuckers. I added that on. That makes it, a little personal. So, and then he just went out there and subbed him, and he looked phenomenal, from start to finish, from bell to bell, from post to post, quarter paddle to quarter paddle. Jason Witt was on, and this guy is going to be a tough out for everybody in the welterweight division. He's got grind, he's got determination, and more importantly, he's got skills. He's got skills that thrill, and he went out there, and, everybody goes, oh, grappling fights, when guys wrestle and everything, but you tell them, anybody out there that tells me that wasn't exciting is a fucking clown. Garrett, what do you think?
Oh, man, I was big on him. I mean, he was my biggest bet on the night, and I called it earlier, 4 weeks ago when I heard that the fight was announced. I told my buddies in a chat that I'm in that we talk about betting and MMA all the time. I'm like, guys, you need to bet on Jason Witt. He was plus money. Just weeks later, he was a favorite. I'm like, guys, this man should be a massive, massive favorite. We're getting him in a minus 140, crazy good line here. The only reason why it was so close is because of his loss against Takashi Sato. But that was on a couple hours, 2 days notice. He wasn't really ready. He got a full camp in. He's fighting a guy in Cole Williams that shouldn't even been in the UFC to begin with. Came in overweight. And I knew he was going to go in and absolutely
4.5 pounds overweight. What the fuck, bro?
He didn't even try to make weight, bro. Both fights, he didn't even try to make weight. Let's be honest. He really didn't. He wanted the advantage, and he showed it coming in that he needed the 4.5 pound advantage, and didn't even do anything for him. He can't stop a takedown. He couldn't stop a takedown against Claudio Silva. I knew he wasn't going to stop a takedown here against Jason Witt either. So I was super excited because it's damn, this is exactly how I called it. He looked phenomenal. He finally got his win in the UFC. I mean, he worked his ass off to finally get here. He was 17-6 coming in, 23 fights under his belt. So, he worked his ass off, got there, and he looked phenomenal. And I can't wait to see him back in there again. Oh, man.
I was already smoking a little. I put it away, but I'm going to bring it back out. So, give me your take on the first 2 fights, too. Miles John and Kevin Navtad and Dustin Jacoby and Dustin and Justin, which you might end up as a lightweight title fight, too. I love it. It rhymes. It's so cool. And before you do that, though, I just wanted to get somebody wanted to pop in and say something to us. Hang on, everybody.
Hi guys, I'm Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Heavyweight Fighter Mark Godbeer, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
Oh, thanks, Mark, man. I hope you're having a good time over in Dubai. I appreciate you stopping through just to give us a little love, man. We love you right back. Can't wait till you get to the States. So anyway, first 2 fights of the night, Miles John and Kevin Navtad. What you got on that one?
I did take Kevin Navtad. I just feel like the octagon jitters got to him in that fight, to be honest with you. I mean, he's looked a lot better, than we've seen in that fight. I think he's going to give it a lot different and when we see him again in the octagon. But I think John's looked way better than we've seen in his 2 previous fights. He looked phenomenal. He used his jab extremely well. His control wasn't great, but he did what he had to do. He used his jab, stick and move. His defense was on point, and he looked great. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from Johns in his next fight. As far as Natividad, I think we're going to see a lot more from his next fight. I think he's going to come through, and I'm definitely going to bet on him again in his next fight because I think he's going to be a big underdog coming in because he lost that fight. But I don't take anything away from him. He fought a really tough opponent, Johns. So, yeah, I mean, he looked good. He didn't throw enough volume. He came forward. But that knockout was some Mortal Kombat stuff. Like,
it really was, dude.
He did a flip. He almost flipped him. That was insane.
I mean, because his legs locked, and it was like ding, bang. It was like a spring load. It was like bang. It was the fucking weirdest shit. I've never seen a knockout like that.
That was
maybe I have. I've seen a lot of knockouts. I shouldn't say I've never seen a knockout like that.
But that was that was one of those uppercuts that you see in Mortal Kombat. Like you remember?
You could have asked for a better fucking knockout punch right there. I mean, like I said, well-deserved performance bonus, $50K.
Yeah.
Jacoby and Ledette, what'd you think of that one?
Man, I was very happy for Jacoby. Very happy because he worked his ass off to finally get back into the UFC. His first stint with the UFC didn't work out very well, but then he went to Glory Kickboxing. He just worked on his game a lot, and I like him. I like his personality. I like him as a person, and it feels good to see him finally, get back in there. And he looks just like a brand new fighter. I mean, he showed his takedown defense on the Contender Series, and he showed his technical striking in this fight against Justin Ledette. So he looked great. I can't wait to see him back in there. I think he's going to fight. He should be fighting soon, because he really did take a ton of damage. So I'm excited to see more from him.
Yeah, me too. And then, of course, when you jumped in, we were in the middle of the Witt Williams fight. We kind of pretty much already hit that. Witt looked phenomenal. Loved watching him carry fucking Williams all the way across the fucking octagon. And
so smart. That was so smart.
And brilliant and executed to perfection. Like he just said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And he did.
I'm so glad he won that fight because, you have your opponent come in 4.5 pounds overweight. That's just that pisses me off because for the fact like Jason Witt worked his ass off to make that 170-pound mark, and this man comes in way overweight, looking like he didn't even try to make the weight.
Yeah, I'm sick of these guys coming in overweight. I think the financial repercussions should be bigger.
I agree. I mean, he barely got a paycheck for that fight. I mean, I think they took 40% off of his purse. Should have been more, to be honest with you, but he wasn't probably getting paid a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah, so I mean, you pretty much just fought for nothing, and you should. I mean, at that point, if you're going to be that disrespectful to your opponent, the sport, the promotion, your own management and team. I mean, let's just be real. nobody talks about that. When a fighter misses weight, they're all like they disrespected the sport and their opponent. But you know what? You disrespected your gym. You disrespected your coaches that put all their fucking heart and soul into getting you ready for fight night, and then you show up like a fat fuck.
Yep.
What
that's
the
true.
fuck is wrong with you, man?
That's true.
I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if I was the coach. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to fine you too. Instead of taking 10% of your money, I want 15%, you son of a bitch, because you're making me look like I don't know what I'm doing. You're making me look bad at my job. And my job is to get you to fight night on weight and on point and ready to fight. When you show up heavy, it makes me look like I'm the ass clown just as much as you are because you didn't put down the fucking ho-hos, motherfucker.
That's true.
Yeah, I said ho-hos.
Ho-hos are good, though.
Ho-hos are fucking dope, bro. But you know, and nobody talks about that. And you know, I've said it off the air to some people like that. But you know what? Maybe we'll do a show where we just talk shit about fucking all the things that are wrong. We'll just rip on everybody.
Well, I know we got one coming up soon too with one of these fights that I'm still salty about. 24 hours later.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but no. I mean, we'll get into a show where we talk just shit about the bad reffing, the fucking fat fighters, fucking the stupid matchups, like moving. You know, I talked about this opening the show. Moving Izzy to fucking light heavy. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I called that too, didn't I not? I called that. I knew it was coming.
We both talked about it. I mean, we talked about it, and it's bullshit, though, man. I mean,
I agree.
Glover Teixeira is on a 4-fight win streak right now at 40 years old, taking dudes out. Glover should get that fight before anybody else. If they're going to start bouncing around, give Glover Jan, because let's be honest. And Till's and fucking if Till wins, I still say that Adesanya should fight him before he makes any move to heavyweight or light heavyweight, because you know what? These divisions, having multiple, one guy being champion or attempting championships in multiple, it fucking holds up too. Now, I also find it fucked up that Izzy didn't want to fucking fight at light heavyweight till sometime late next year against John Jones. Now that Jan's there, he feels he's got a better shot. So now he's going to take a shot.
That's exactly what he's doing.
He never intended to fucking fight Jones in the first place. He was just putting Jones' name in his mouth to fucking, you know, what's the word? Chase clout. That's it. He was chasing clout. Let's be honest. And Izzy, you know, Izzy doesn't even have to chase clout with John Jones. Izzy's a good fighter. Yes. I've never picked him to win ever, not once.
Oh, wow.
I just, there's something about him I can't buy into, and I hope fucking, you know, if they do fucking go through and book this fight with Jan, that fucking Jan puts him on his fucking ass.
It's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Well, you don't know that, dude. Power. You know, they say power and precision. They say power. Listen, they always say power and precision are the two things, right? So he's got power. You can't deny that. He's got.
Yes, he does.
He's got big hands, and he is and he's got precision as well. Don't get me wrong. He's not as precise as Israel Adesanya. I'm not even going to attempt to say that they're the same kind of striker, because he's a special striker. You know, like I still can't pick him in a fight. You know, I don't know why. I can't do it. But anyway, so in this matchup, Jan has to fucking fight his fight and not let Izzy control it. And if Jan can fight his type of fight, he's got a good chance of defending his belt. I don't think that it's, you know, and it'll be a good payday for him as well. But now light heavyweight doesn't have a face, even with Jan, because they still have John Jones ranked as the #1 light heavyweight in the world, even though he gave up the belt and now somebody else is wearing the belt. John Jones is still ranked #1 up there. And I don't.
You know what's going to happen though? It's they're trying to, you know, have Izzy come up, beat Jan, have Jones come down, fight Izzy for the belt. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. And like I knew they were trying to do that from the get-go. And I knew they were going to do this type of fight. You know, and you know, I'm looking forward to it because I know it's going to eventually happen. I do think this is a prime matchup for Izzy because I just think he's faster. He's striking is just on another level. Jan literally needs to knock him out cold. He's got to knock him out cold. Doesn't mean he can't do it. Does not mean he can't do it. It's gonna be damn hard because I think he's by far the best striker that Jan's gonna fight unless he fights John Jones. Right. He's definitely the best striker until he fights John Jones if he beats Izzy. By far.
Yeah. I just don't like it, man. You know, we finally are at a spot where we're not running around with a bunch of interim champions and, you know, disputable divisions. and now we're gonna fucking,
You're gonna hold
take
up two divisions. We're
Huh?
gonna hold up two divisions if Izzy wins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only way it's really been successful with the champ kind of thing is with Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, because she fights constantly. She'll fight.
Yeah,
She's one to fight.
but the thing is, because there's such a shallow pool of talent in the women's divisions as compared to the men's, it doesn't really hurt both divisions. I mean, it doesn't hurt the women's featherweight division at all if she doesn't fucking defend. Because I mean, like she's fighting Megan Anderson. Like that's fucking ridiculous. She shouldn't be fighting Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson is nowhere near on her level, but she's all that's left. I think once fucking Amanda dispatches her, so the featherweight division goes away.
Done. Yeah, it's done.
Point for it. There's no use for it. The only way it makes sense to keep it around is if Kayla Harrison was going to come over from PFL and drop to 145 because she's fighting at 155 over there. But her and Amanda trained together at American Top Team. I don't know if they would even want to fight each other at this point. And I still think Amanda or Kayla Harrison. I was going to say Amanda Harrison. I had them all fucking like mixed up. I still say Kayla Harrison would lose to Amanda.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Even though she's a great judo practitioner, I'm not feeling her beating Amanda Nunes. So there's really no fights for Amanda at 145. So she's not just cleaned out the featherweight division. She's cleaned out the bantamweight division. There's nobody there for her really that's going to pose a challenge to her, which elevates her on my GOAT list. Overall, not just female GOAT.
No, she's definitely top 3, top 4, maybe even top.
8-0 title fights, 2 divisions. Nobody's going to destroy her.
And she's dominated every single fight. It wasn't even close, and not a single fight was close.
Yeah, the only fights that she had that were close were against Shevchenko, but she won. And I don't care if people go, well, she didn't win that other one. No, she did win. Look at the fucking record. What does it say? She won, motherfucker. Stop getting your salt in your fucking asshole and fucking just accept the fact that she won. But she's 8-0 as a champion, 8-0 in title fights, and she's fought all the top contenders because that's all that was there. So she's the GOAT. I mean, John Jones, never lost a title fight. Amanda Nunes never lost a title fight. I think those two have the most title fight wins without losing a title fight in all of MMA. So John and Amanda are my GOATs. There you go, everybody. I just said it live. I can't take it back unless I rewind. I didn't say that. What are you talking about, man? So, it's funny because we get sidetracked. And guys, don't forget you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James. We are doing the UFC on ESPN. I hate talking about the full name of an event right now, man. The UFC on ESPN+39.
You could say UFC Vegas 12.
But that's not the name of the event. That's just a hashtag for it. You got to put the whole name in there. I mean, you got to, because it's a numbered event. It's in a series of numbers, so you got to make sure you get the right one. Or you could just call it, UFC Fight Night Hall versus fucking Silva. Yeah. But even that's just long-winded. So, from now on, I'm just going to post-fight show from last night's fucking UFC fight.
Easy enough.
If you don't like it, fuck it. Anyway, so let's get back on this card. So Sean Strickland and Jack Marsman, Strickland came out and won the fight. And, man, why won't you fall down, Jack? Yeah. I had to put it back on because I got to read, Josh. But Josh, you don't like the non-glasses? This is like my Brad Katona to Superman. Fucking Brad Katona, engineer, Superman. I beat Bryce Mitchell.
That's his claim to fame.
He did, and he's not in the UFC anymore. I don't like that. But anyway.
Yeah, he should be, though. So,
Sean Strickland and Jack Marshman, they come in, and just Strickland was talking so much shit during the fight.
So funny.
This won my fight of the night, not because of the result, not because of the action, and it was because Strickland made me engage more in this fight because he was talking smack, and all they wanted to do was hear what he was saying. You got 30 seconds, Jack. Come on. You got 10 seconds, Jack. Come on, fight. Yeah. And all through the fight. But, fucking the best part was, why won't you fall, Jack?
I remember that. That's
The
funny.
commentator was losing. I'm sitting there on my couch laughing my fucking cojones off. Josh, I don't care if you don't like it or it looks weird. I like it. Garrett, does this look bad with me? I mean, because everybody used to see me in the glass. This don't look bad, right?
No, I don't look bad. I was just like, ooh, he looks distinguished now.
Yeah, this way I look scholarly, and this way I look sexy. So I'm going to tell you why I took the glasses off, because when I do wear them sometimes, you get the fucking light ring, right?
Yeah.
You see the reflection?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get like that UFC fucking look where, they got the fighters and their light ring shows up in their pupil. I can't see it on my own. Is it there?
A little bit.
All right, cool. All right, I'm back. So anyway, but Strickland went out there. He looked good, coming back after that horrible car accident where, we didn't know if he was going to make it even back to just, being, normal, healthy human being. He comes back and he fights.
Yeah.
And he won, and he looked great in doing it. He owned the whole fight. Marshman, made a little pop in the third round, but he really brought nothing to Strickland. Strickland's at middleweight, and here's an interesting character coming up at middleweight, right? So, a couple of fights in, maybe he fucking should be, can fucking, talk his way into a title, and, he's the guy that has the personality to do it. But just his fight performance, he looked great. I was looking for the finish from him. I was just as pissed as him, like, why won't you fall, Jack? Give me your take, Garrett.
Oh man, that was a funny fight. Strickland looked great. It's a comeback story that that's just good to hear. Coming off of that horrific motorcycle accident, and then not being able to fight in 764 days or something like that.
2 years, about 2 years.
Yeah, something like that. Something like over 2 years. So, and he looked phenomenal. And normally, he doesn't stand there, walk fighters down, stand and trade in the pocket. And he's like, I don't care. I'm ready for this. I've been waiting for this moment. He's like, and I'm not gonna let it slip by. He came there to fight, to have a great fight, a great showing, and he really put it on Marshman. Marshman had absolutely nothing for him. He was eating punches and bunches, and he looked phenomenal. I don't know if he's going to stay at 185. I was hearing that he's trying to go back down to 170, but he looked great at 185. He looked fresh. He wasn't undersized at all. He's still pretty tall, lanky at 185. So I think he should stay at 185. He looked healthy. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to see more from him.
I agree with you. Everything you said. I mean, he looked great in the fight, and he does. I think 185 is where it should stay, especially with, Izzy now making the move up. There's going to come a point where he's probably going to have to pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be able to do both, and he doesn't have that aggressive type of desire to fight as much as fucking some of these other guys do. And we need people that are willing to fight. If you want to be in the belt conversation, you got to be somebody that's willing to fight. A lot. I think 3 title defenses a year is not a ridiculous request. But it's like, and these guys are, we talked about this before. All these guys bitch about getting a title shot and waiting while a champion does this and that until they get there. And then they become the champion. They do the exact same thing that the guy before them did. They hold up this, they do that. Oh, I don't want to fight now. I got an injury. I'm going to wait, blah, 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 blah. Then we end up with interim champions. And then, there's no more lineal champions in the UFC. I mean, that's gone. There's no belt has direct lineage anymore down, from just one guy to the next. There's been belts that have been stripped. There's been guys that have retired, suspensions that have taken belts away. So, there's no direct connection from the old champ to the new champ, and it sucks. And this just, things like this just make that further away from, beginning again, where, maybe 20 years from now, we could have went. I mean, so right now, let's see. So nobody's going to beat Amanda. Nope. So when she's done, she's going to retire, and two people will fight for the belt. So there's, it just sucks, man.
I'm just trying to figure out why champions don't fight often. I just don't know. Is it because of the money? Because they don't want to pay out, championship salary 2-3 times a year? Is that the reason?
If you're making championship money, in title fights, especially if your title fight is on a pay-per-view, you all those guys get some pay-per-view points, and that's good. So if I'm at that caliber and I can get on 3 pay-per-view cards a year, defending my belt, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but which fighter, which champion fights 3 times a year? I don't think any of them do.
No.
Not a single one. I don't think they fight 2 times a year.
Well, we can interrupt our post-fight show just for that. And so who's our we'll start down with the men first. Flyweight champion is
Figueiredo.
All right. And he just won the belt. He's had 2 fights this year, correct?
I think so. But like title fights. So this would be his first title defense, I believe, against Alex Perez. So
right.
So he'll have 2 fights as a this would be his technically the first fight as a champion. But you can't really fault him because he's just a newly crowned champion. So but he's fighting. So we can't say much about him.
Wait, wasn't there 2 fights between him and
he fought Joe B and he beat him the first time.
Right.
But that was, I think, was that in 2019 or was that 2020? I don't remember.
Looked it up.
I feel like it was either early 2020 or late 2019 that he won the belt the first time. And then he fought him again. So I think he's the most active champion other than Izzy, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
See if I spelled that right. Yay, I did. Oh, no, that's not Figueiredo. All right, so UFC Fight Night 169, that was in February.
That was the first fight between them two?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was definitely the first fight because he just fought him recently, like a few months ago.
Yeah, because it says UFC Fight Night Figueiredo versus Benavidez 2 took place in July.
Yeah, so
that's where Megan O'Leary was sitting there looking at her man laying like he was dead in the fucking octagon.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad. That's horrible.
I felt bad for her. Yeah. But she's a pro. She went out there and did her job, man. And, she knows it's part of the game. So, hats off to Megan O'Leary.
That's rough.
Hats off to Joe for landing Megan O'Leary. Let's fucking give that dude some credit, man. She's a pretty lady.
Agreed.
You got to give props to dudes when they fucking score, and he scored. He shoots, he scores. Hockey time. All right. Hey, welcome to Rinkside with Christopher James and Garrett Kerman. Welcome to Cold as Ice with Garrett Kerman and Christopher James and Bam Alex Bam.
Oh my God. I don't want to talk about that guy.
But anyway, I lost my track. Where were we? So
no, we're talking about like champions that actually.
None of the champions. So Figueiredo. So who's our bantamweight champion? Is
Jan
Peter Jan.
Yeah.
Flyweight or featherweight is Alex Volkanovski.
He fought I think once this year, I believe.
Right. Lightweight Khabib.
And he fought once, I believe, this year as well.
Yep. Welterweight Usman.
He's only won once. He's only fought once.
Has he only fought once this year just against Masvidal?
I believe so. I don't know who else. Who did he fight before that? I mean, they tried to fight him. They tried to do Burns, but Burns got COVID, so that fight was off. But did he fight? When did he fight Colby? Was Colby 2020 or was it 2019?
Right now, so he fought Masvidal and he fought Colby December of 2019.
Yeah.
So in a calendar year, I mean, from 12 to 12, he fought Colby and he fought Masvidal. So if he fights again, right?
Which he's not.
Before the end of the year, I don't think he's going to. But if he does, that's respectable. That's 3 fights in a calendar, 12-month period. I can deal with that,
Yeah.
But he's not going to fight again. I think he's fucking.
No. He's injured again.
Or lazy or just want, because that's the other thing. I think sometimes some of these champions, they go, well, I won the belt today. And, if I can get away with only fighting once a year.
That's what they're trying to do.
5 years.
That's what they do.
That's a 1,500-day run as champion, Yeah. It's actually an 1,830-day run as champion. Is that right? 365 times 5. Is that 1,830? Or am I wrong? I'm way wrong.
I can't do the math.
No, I think I'm right. I got to edit. I got to see now. I got to pull out the calculator because sometimes I'm able to just I almost feel like I'm Rain Man sometimes. I see numbers in my head, and I just can, see this, and I just know the answer. So let's see if I got that right. What did I say? 1830, right? 365 times 5, 1825. It's off by 5.
Damn, you're close.
Bitch. God damn it! Maybe I should have learned how to do core math instead of normal math. Fucking core math. Yeah. So welterweight is Usman. Middleweight is
Izzy. I think he's fought twice in the calendar year, or 3 times possibly.
Did he?
At least twice. I know that much. I think.
All right,
I don't know when is he fighting Jan? It's got to be early 2021. I think.
Yeah, it's not gonna be till 2021. So, the last style bender. All right. So he fought. So he fought in October of last year, and beat Whitaker. He fought in March of this year and beat UL, and he fought in September of this year and beat Polo. So he's in his calendar year 3 fights.
Yeah,
good.
He's the most I think active champion.
Didn't you just say that about somebody else?
Him and Figueiredo, I think, are the most active champions.
You're a fickle son of a bitch, ain't you?
No, I mean, like I said it from the beginning that Izzy was one of the most, active champions. I think
Light
it's him.
heavyweight Jan, and John Jones. So yeah, and John Jones was wanted to fight a lot this year. So, but now he's not. And then heavyweight, Stipe. Stipe fights once every 18 and a half months. So,
I think they're fighting in March, right? Stipe and Ngannou, I believe.
Yeah, but again, when did he have his last fight? How long ago was the DC fight? 2 months?
Yeah, about that.
So, all the way, and it'll probably get pushed back because they'll probably get an injury or, they're going to he has to wipe down a fire pole and he can't fight, Oh, did I say that out loud? Were we on the air? Son of a bitch. I just, I'm being a smart ass. I respect the fact of him that he's a fireman. I do. My boy Chase Sherman, is a firefighter full time as well. But I think that Stipe used the firefighter thing because of the pandemic, to just, take more sack time than defend. And I'm sorry, he's a part-time fireman. Even during the pandemic, he was only part-time. I mean, so, to say that there's no place to fight or there's no place to train and do everything when all these other fighters are finding places to train, the UFC was back in action in May, says to me that you're not overly interested. And, on fight nights, he shows, after, I'm the champion, he gets all bravado. And then after that, he disappears into the border. We don't hear about him. We don't see him, and then they book a fight. And then we wait, 9 months for that fight to take place. He doesn't seem as excited to be the heavyweight champion of the world as others.
Well, he's not going to be the champion that much longer. So let's, he'll have 4 more months to go. And then his reign is over.
He's not going to lose to Francis, dude.
Yes, he is. Absolutely.
No, he's not, dude.
110%. He's not taking a punch from Francis right now. At this given age, he's gonna take one punch to that eye, and he's like, "All right, I'm done."
He's not going to take the punch. That's
of course
the problem.
He is. Of course he is.
No, he is not. Listen, Garrett. Listen for me. Listen, Linda. Listen to me, Linda. Anyway, he is not an evolved fighter. Francis has one thing going for him.
Yes. He can knock you unconscious with one punch.
But he's not accurate. He's not technical.
Only needs one, though.
Let me finish, motherfucker. I will mute your microphone. Can I do that? I just muted your microphone. I can do that. You're back. You are back, right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, just checking. So Stipe schooled that man the last time they fought. Stipe has actually gotten better since that time they fought. He has, dude. Look at the last fight. I mean, look how he performed. Francis hasn't gotten any better. He's the same fighter. So Stipe is going to beat him again. That's just it. It won't go 5 rounds or so. Not time. I think Stipe will actually finish him. You heard it here first, motherfuckers.
I don't know about all that. I think you're getting a little ahead of yourself. I mean, as long as Francis keeps his fight on the feet and doesn't get taken down, he wins. Point blank.
He's not going to be able to stop the takedown, dude. He's not.
Why not? Why
He
not?
doesn't have takedowns.
Who was the last person to take him down? Oh, wait. Who was the last person to take him down?
Me.
Stipe Miocic was the last person to ever take him down. That was
Because
forever ago.
That's the only guy that attempted the takedown on him, really.
Because he knocked. No, that's not true. That's not true. Because what's his name? Cain Velasquez attempted takedowns, and he got elbows from hell against the cage.
Well, we were talking about Cain Velasquez, probably the most overrated heavyweight champion in the fucking last 15 years.
Yes, we can agree there. But he did attempt a takedown, and he got elbows from hell, and then he went limp, and he went night.
Yeah, talk to me, and I always wanted to see DC fight him because I wanted DC to put him on his ass as well.
DC would.
DC absolutely would.
Yeah, he definitely would.
Ass too.
I just don't think Stipe would go in and take down Francis right now. Francis he's evolved, even though you don't think he may have evolved. But ever since that Stipe fight, he has evolved as a fighter. Yes, he's not the most technical, but being so massively strong, massively powerful, does he really need to be super technical? He really just needs to land, and he lands. That's what he does. As long as he defends a takedown and he lands shots, he gets the job done. And I think he will here. I mean, plus Stipe is at the end of his rope. The man's not training full time anymore. He's not in the gym 24/7. He has a day job. He doesn't want to fight anymore. That's why he fights once in a blue moon. And they're forcing him to fight sooner than he wants to. Let's be honest. He doesn't want to fight in March. He wants at least a year to recover after that last fight.
His last fight took place. We'll look that up in a minute. But he fought Miocic at UFC 220. He attempted 14 takedowns and he scored 6 of them, dude. For you to say that he's not going to go in there and attempt those takedowns again, you're crazy.
I never said he's not going to. I said he's going to defend them.
He laid the blueprint on how to beat Ngannou.
And guess what? Not a single person has done that after him.
Nobody
or before him.
Nobody else goes in like that.
Curtis Blades twice tried to do the same thing. Knocked out twice. I'm a big Curtis Blades fan. Don't get me wrong.
No, so am I.
But he did that.
He tried to
you know what I mean?
So Francis has been his kryptonite. There's no doubt about it. He does it. He destroys everybody else, and sometimes you have that in sports, where you have one guy that no matter what you do, or one team that you play, no matter how fucking many times you change the quarterback and the fucking running backs, you still get your ass handed to you. So some guys just have that kryptonite. Some girls have it, and so this might be, his Achilles heel, if you will, for Curtis. But I don't think so. I think Curtis will eventually fucking, let's say Francis beats Curtis or Francis beats Stipe, which is not happening, but just for, to humor you because you're wrong. So Stipe loses to Francis. Curtis takes the belt off of Francis.
I would like that. I would absolutely like that.
Awesome.
It would.
I hate that Curtis doesn't, I hate that Dana White bags on Curtis, man, because Curtis is out there fucking hard working. He's only lost to one guy.
Yep, that's it.
And did they book him against Derek Lewis? Is that coming up?
I think so, yeah. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, Derek Lewis and Curtis going to be a fun fight.
Curtis is going to beat the dog shit out of him. He's going to beat the dog shit out of Lewis. He really is.
And location.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's going to just pick him up, take him down, ground and pound him to oblivion. It's going to happen. It's the way it's going to happen.
Yeah. So now
I can't wait for that.
Now that we completely went off the rails, let's go back to her fucking preview or review, if you will, our post-fight analysis of UFC on ESPN plus 39. Hashtag UFC Vegas 12. Hashtag Hall versus Silva. Hashtag fuck. We're back still on the prelims card, and the prelims card delivered like a motherfucker. 5 fucking finishes out of 6 fights. 4 of them were knockouts. I mean, fucking wow. Adrian Yanez, bro, against Victor Rodriguez. I am loving me some Adrian Yanez. Yes. I knew, when he was fighting, you're just watching him, and Yanez has the it.
Yeah, he does.
He really does. He can put it together on the ground. He can put it together on the feet. he stalked his prey last night like a fucking, like you see in those, videos, like with, Steve or crikey, look at the hyena over there in the brush waiting patiently to jump and pounce on its prey. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a banger. And boom. And that's what he does. And Giannis last night, he was just,
Crazy, man.
Wow. Oh, it's like, he just, one, you look at some of the numbers, 17 significant strikes, and he was economical. He wasn't wasting punches or kicks. And, he's setting them up with the punches, and that kick came it was like an RKO out of nowhere.
That was insane. That was beautiful. It really was. It was just
By the way, this is my Bob Ross shirt.
I like it.
Christmas.
Yeah, look at that. I like it.
I bought this at a place called Buc-ee's on I-10. It's like the biggest gas station I've ever been to in my life. It's not even a gas station. It's a gas station with everything in it. It's got like 96 pumps. It's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah. As you get older, dude, these are the things you appreciate in life, just so you know.
I'll be there soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, you will. And you'll be rolling up and go, hey, honey, let's go to Buc-ee's. That's excitement. That's what we do, the wife and I.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, what else can you say? He got a performance of the night, bumping his day as well. What else can we say about this fight? I mean,
maybe his opponent didn't want to strike with him. You already knew coming in, like he's a Muay Thai striker, his opponent, right? And immediately he shoots in for a takedown. That's how you know he was afraid to strike with him. Period. Point blank. He did not want to strike with him, and rightfully so. He came in through some heavy hands. He moved. He tried to move out of the way and try to circle to his right, and he timed it perfectly with that left head kick. I'm like, wow.
It was really sexy. It was sexy. It
really was. It was like painting a picture. Like it really was. It was just a work of art. It was magnificent. Yeah. Great work by him.
And he was so calm, cool, and collected in the octagon. And he had that look of Christian Bale in American Psycho, like just like everybody used to say about Rory McDonald, just had that sociopath look in his eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he ever truly delivered what everybody thought he was going to be either. But that's a story for another day when we want to go slumming and talk about other stuff. So next fight. I gotta catch my breath here for a minute.
What's the next fight? I'm trying to figure out what the next fight is.
Alexander Hernandez and Chris Gutzmacher.
Oh man.
Oof. Yeah, you thought we were going somewhere else. The reason I'm saying I got to catch my breath for this one is because when Hernandez came in his first fight, in the octagon, and he took out Darush, just exploded.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this kid's fucking got all the stuff. And then he kind of took a couple steps backwards. But last night, and he moved camps. He left Texas and moved to Denver.
That was massive for him.
And man, who's his head coach now? Montoya
Mark Montoya, Factory X.
Wow, what a difference a fight camp made for this kid, because he showcased everything we saw before, and then it was all just that much better. He looked calm again. He's another one that focused, predator look in his eye, and he just went out there. And Gutzmacher's a tough kid, man. A tough guy. I mean, he's not an easy out, but Hernandez made it look easy. Minute 46 seconds. He got a bonus for that.
He deserved it.
I think at this point, this might be the beginning of a run for Hernandez that we all expected him to start after that first, huge knockout one. I think now with a little more maturity and a few more fights, and he said something last night that I really enjoyed, that he's not going to rush it. He's not going to, just rush because he's in the UFC like he did in the beginning of this. He's going to take his time. He's going to make sure he gets in the camps. He's going to work. He's going to continue to evolve. And he wants to make each UFC fight his best UFC fight. I'm all in on this kid.
I agree. I mean, I heard some really good things from one of my friends that actually trains at Factory X. He's saying, man, he's such a hard worker. He's normally the first one in, last one out. He's asking guys to to work later with him just to get better. And I really admire that. Like he works his ass off to evolve in his game, and it really showed. And I want him to slowly increase the competition. Don't shoot for the stars. Just get that work in, get another win.
You
Keep
can
going.
shoot for the stars, but there's different levels to get there. So you before you get to the stars, you gotta get up into the sky, and then you got to get through the atmosphere, and then the stratosphere, and then you're in the star. So each level of it, just take your time, do it right. I mean, because I brought him up earlier, with the glasses thing, Brad Katona. I mean, Brad Katona was doing stuff right in the UFC, and boom, they booted him. Here he is, a guy that won the Ultimate Fighter, the only, a guy that beat Bryce Mitchell, although it's an exhibition, he still beat Bryce Mitchell. That's a fucking feather in the cap. And they booted him, maybe it's because, the weight class, I don't know, but that's a guy I think should still be in the UFC.
Agreed.
But Hernandez could be on the other side of that just, that easily if you make the wrong move.
Right.
And last night he made all the right moves. He looked perfect in there, for as close to perfect as you would want your fighter to perform. Very happy for him to get back on the W and get off the schneid, as they say in other sports. He's off the schneid. Now, this fight coming up here, man, this one pissed me the fuck off. These motherfuckers, Thiago Moises and Bobby Green, are judges. Dave Hagen, Sal D'Amato, Derek Cleary.
All need to be fired immediately.
They all scored about 29-28 for Thiago Moises. Now, boys and girls, normally I don't get into this in depth when we do a post fight about the amount of punches landed. This was a fight where so let me give you the numbers here, the totals. Bobby Green's stat line: 85 out of 177 on significant strikes, 94 out of 187 total strikes, 2 for 3 on takedowns, reversed one position, and control time. Let me finish. Control time for a minute and 11. Okay. Thiago Moises' stat line: 42 of 119 significant strikes, 43 of 120 total strikes, 2 of 3 on his takedowns, 1 submission attempt, minute 51 control time. That's the totals. Now, just from the totals alone, without going into the round by round breakdowns, it's a 2-1 striking advantage all the way across in the totals. Literally 2-1 in every fight, in that whole fight. You break it down to rounds. In round 1, significant strikes, and I'm just going to, the first number I give will be Green. The second one will be Moises. I'm going to just go through the 3 rounds just on significant alone. Round 1, 26 of 56 for Green. Moises 13 of 36. Round 2, Green 29 of 59. 14 of 33 for Moises. Again, so those 2 rounds, the first round doubled him. Second round doubled him. Third round, Bobby Green, 30 of 62. Moises, 15 of 50. Those are just the significance. In the totals of the rounds, 26 of 56, because all Bobby Green's strikes were scored as significant. So 26 versus 13, 33 versus 14, 35 versus 16. Green scored a takedown in round 2. Moises scored one in round 1. He had control for 16 seconds, I guess, on that on that takedown, I think. So they each had their takedown. One of the guy, Moises had the first one. Green had it in the second round. In round 3, they both scored a takedown. The numbers, again, all doubled for Green. I just don't understand how in the fuck these guys that judged this fight last night have the audacity to score the fight the way they did and give 2-1 for Moises. He didn't win 1 round. It was a 30-27 fight all the way across the board for Bobby Green. I posted about it. I saw you had posted about it as well. And there's not enough people talking about it. What the fuck? What in the holy fuck?
I'm dumbfounded, and people are trying to tell me, oh, he landed the cleaner, heavier shots, but that doesn't win you the fight. Since when does landing the cleaner and heavier shots win you the fight? He still got outstruck handedly. It wasn't even close. Like, it was not close. It's not like he took him down and he controlled him, or he was close to finishing him. He was not close to finishing him in a single round. He did not control him on the mat. I mean, what did Green have to do to win that fight? It just dumbfounded. And like, I don't know how judging works, but do they get to see any type of stats when they're judging?
They do not.
But even so,
it doesn't matter. Listen, it doesn't matter if they had the punch count numbers in front of them. What matters is what you see with your naked fucking eye.
Yeah.
What the fuck fight were these guys looking at? No, don't get me wrong. Moises landed some nice punches in the fight. I'm not going to say he didn't. He landed some nice punches that fucking, made some impact. But if you throw 13 punches in a round and 2 of them are fucking, big punches, but the other guy doubles you up in punches and some of his were just as big as yours, how the fuck do you get that round? And I'm not, just so you know, I'm not even shitting on Moises. He didn't score his own fight. Yeah. So this has nothing to do with, when I always want to be clear about that when me or Garrett or other, reporters or analysts bitch about the score of a fight being done wrong. Some people think we're bagging on the fighter. I'm not bagging on Moises. He went out there and did what he was supposed to do. He walked away with the win. Congratulations, dude. Fucking, but, I bet you he knows deep inside, when he walked back to the locker room, he was like, how the fuck did I win that fight, coach? Fucking, this guy beat me up the whole fucking fight. I mean,
he legit thought he won, though, to be honest. He legit thought he won.
He legitimately fucking is wrong. Yeah,
there's no way he should have gotten that win. But that's Bobby Green's MO. It wasn't even a close fight, so people are saying, "Oh, should not have left the hands of the judges." But it's it wasn't a close fight. If you watch that fight, it wasn't close. I don't understand how people are saying it was a close fight. It wasn't close. I could rewatch it 100 times, and 100 of the times, I'm gonna say Green won unanimously. There's no way that was a close fight.
I'm looking at the strikes to the head because they break it down on Fight Metric. So head strikes in round 1, Green landed 10. Moises landed 8. In round 2, Green landed 6. Moises landed 10. So here we go. We'll do it for round 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go head, body, and leg. So Green, 10 head strikes landed, 9 to the body, 7 to the 7 legs. Moises 8, 2, and 3. In round 2 was 6 to the head for Green, 14 to the body, 9 leg strikes. In round 3, Thiago landed 4 more headshots, but 12 less body shots and 7 less on the leg kicks. In round 3, 13 head strikes landed for Green, Thiago, Moises. So maybe these guys are fucking just only looking at head strikes and not counting the other stuff, because in the head strike numbers, they're close. There's only the biggest disparity was in round 2. But what happened? Does he not get credit for outlanding him in every other spot? And outlanding him to the head in 2 of the 3 rounds.
I'll never understand that, man. That's
I need a bark bag.
It's just BS. And like I said, that's happened in numerous Bobby Green fights. Yeah. It's just it happens to him, and I feel for him because it's a fight he won. He should be on a 5-fight win streak right now. He should be able to go ahead and fight someone in the top 10, top 15, and he should have gotten his win bonus. But he got screwed out of all of that.
Who, Green should have gotten a win bonus?
Yeah. Green should have got a win bonus. He should be able to go fight somebody in the top 10.
I thought you meant performance bonus for a second. I was like, he didn't perform for a bonus.
No, just his win bonus. But I mean, he turned the corner in his career. He won 4 straight. He should have been 4-0. This year alone. It's just it just sucks for him because
But the The distinct honor of being the first guy to 4-0 this year goes to our man Kevin Holland.
Yep.
4-0
Fighting.
on Charlie Oliveros, subbed him out.
Was it
verbal
sub?
submission.
Verbal. Yeah.
Yeah, verbal tap. He hooked him up fucking and just dumped him. And when he dumped him, I think fucking it was his neck that was the injury, according to what Holland said in his post-fight, because first the commentators go, must have been clash of heads when they went down, but the heads didn't clash. It was just such a powerful slam, and then he just fucking that was it. It was over. Holland looks good, man. Holland looks really good. And then he called Izzy out. He was talking shit. He goes, don't talk to me, boy. He's like, yeah, hey, boy. I love that he was immediately went right to the champ and started calling him out. And then he made Izzy run to light heavyweight.
Yeah. I don't know about all that, but
well, he did. I mean, he called him out, and then after the fight, they announced that Izzy's moving to light heavyweight. Kevin Holland scared him out the division. Way to go, K-Dog.
Sure. I mean, if you want to go there, but I mean, Kevin Holland has looked great, but he's fought how many short notice replacements? I mean, granted, it's not his fault. He's beating and finishing, who they're put in place.
But him up, knock him down.
Exactly. So I can't fault him there, but I need to see him face somebody in the top 10. I mean, come on. I mean, these fights keep falling through. Give him someone.
Well, that's what he said. He asked for that in the post fight.
He deserves it. He deserves someone with a
name. Give me a name. He wants a name. He ain't scared to take a name.
Oh, absolutely not. I know he's not. But I want to see him face someone good. I don't want to see him face someone named Charlie Oliveros, who probably no fault to him shouldn't be in the UFC. Let's be honest. And I hope he's okay. But
yeah, they say he's 100% perfect. Dana White talked about it at the post fight, and Damon Martin also reported on that he's definitely 100% okay.
That's great.
Greg Hardy, Maurice Green, heavyweights, big boys.
I didn't get to see the finish. What exactly happened?
Greg Hardy fucked the ground and pounded him.
It was like a slam, and then he just pounded him out. That was it.
Dropped him and then finished him.
Oh, so it was a punch, dropped him down, and just okay.
Yeah, then he was working over the top of the back and everything, and they just kept punching, finally finished him. Hardy, was definitely breathing heavy. He made the move. He left American Top Team.
He did.
Yeah, he was training with Rashad, and those guys are all up at where's Rashad training? Anthony Johnson trains up there.
Oh, yeah, Sanford MMA.
Sanford MMA. I believe that's where he went to. You can't train American Top Team and train with Sanford MMA. It's like training with the Black Zillions and American Top Team together.
Exactly,
it's not to be accepted by either camp.
Yeah, but his striking coach is still Billy Patton, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I'm not sure on that. I can't answer that for you. So,
but I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, he looked good, but the thing is with Greg Hardy, he can beat. I think he can beat.
Phenomenal.
I think he could beat everybody outside the top 10. Like anybody you name, you give him outside the top 10, except for a couple names. Maybe like the top.
I think he can beat guys inside the top 10. This is heavyweight, dude. This is a different animal where Francis Ngannou's proved you don't have to have all the skills. You only have to know how to knock a motherfucker out.
No, I agree there, but I think he needs more time.
He just got started. I mean, how long?
Yeah,
he's only 2 years.
Is he 7
after football?
Yeah, he's 7-2, right? I believe in his record. Oh well, he lost.
He is. Greg Hardy has.
Well, he only has one legit loss.
3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. So
yeah, but he's only got 1 legit loss. And which was against Volkov. Because his other loss was a disqualification for an illegal knee. He was about to finish Alan Crowder as well. So, that should have been a W under his belt. I mean, he's looked great. And I want to see more from him. I think the sky's the limit for him. He probably will crack the top 10 at some point in his career. He's a freak athlete. He's huge, 6'4", 265
The thing
pounds.
is, you said it, though. He's a freak athlete, dude. He's not, I think for him, the thing he has to really work on isn't so much, punching people. I don't think he has a problem punching people, but his cardio is suspect. Even last night, he was breathing heavy all through the fight. and breathing heavily too soon. Although he did try to empty the gas tank in the first round to finish him, and didn't get there. So he did do it in the second round. But he's doing what he has to do at heavyweight to get wins, and he looks good. I'm cool with him doing what he's doing. And I got a lot of respect for the guy. When he was with the American Top Team, Greg Hardy's got millions and millions of dollars banked away, kids. He ain't doing this for just the money. I mean, the money is probably the furthest thing. I think he does it because it's a great outlet for him to, let the beast out. Yeah. And that's part of who he is. He likes to let the beast out. So he was living above American Top Team in the fighters' quarters. He wasn't living in a fancy beach apartment or a fucking fancy, house out in Parkland or in Coconut Creek, where they got some beautiful properties. He obviously can afford to do that, but he needed to humble himself. He needed to live in that environment, and be there all the time so he can get up and go right downstairs and train, go upstairs and eat, come right back downstairs and train, go back upstairs and eat, take a nap, take a shower, come down and train for the third time of the day. And he put his heart and soul into it when he didn't have to do that, That tells you about the commitment and dedication, in my opinion, that he has. He wants to really be successful at this. And, it's like when Rocky, in the movie, when he went back to, L.A. and did all that, re-humbleizing himself with Apollo Creed, and then, going to Russia, and lifting a horse trailer full of rocks. All fucking I mean, it's not a bad thing for any athlete to do that. Go back to the beginning. Now, for Greg, I mean, he didn't have a beginning in a fighting career. So him doing that was, I guess, the best simulation he could, living like a poor, broke fighter, learning in the gym, having to sweep up at night, fucking, so you have a place to fight. I'm sure his gym fees are paid, obviously, I mean, I'm going to guess he pays those out. But being treated like one of the other guys, any other guy in there, his celebrity status as a football player, walked out the door and was stayed in the parking lot when he walked into American Top Team. So, I like it. Do I hear kids crying?
Yeah, that's my he's not crying, but my son is he's going a little crazy. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care, man. If I can, this is life. Let him go crazy. What's he going crazy about? Can you tell?
He just goes crazy. Like, literally, that's just his personality. He's got a lot of energy. Let's put it that way.
How old is he?
3.
Oh yeah. My 2-year-old grandson's got a lot of energy too, man. Fucking.
Yeah, he's nonstop, man. Nonstop.
All right, so Bryce Mitchell and Andre Feely went exactly as I expected. Unanimous decision win for Bryce Mitchell. This kid is the real deal. He's the truth personified. He's got all the marketing points. He looked great in his camo shorts.
Yeah.
He took out a serious contender in Andre Feely that a lot of people picked Andre Feely to win this fight.
I did as well.
I was not one of them. Oh, you picked Feely?
Yeah, I did. I just thought, I thought Feely would be able to defend the takedowns, better than he did because, come out of Team Alpha Male, he's shown a good wrestling background. But, man, Mitchell's wrestling and, offensive grappling is on another level. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
He's he's a country boy, man. Country boy can survive, and they do some, it's different,
His grappling it astounded me. I didn't think his offensive wrestling was really there, but I guess it just progressed. It really did. His single legs, his double leg takedowns, just his transitions from one to the other. It was seamless. It was a thing of beauty.
Did you not watch his fight against Charles Rosa?
Yeah, I did. But it was Charles Rosa.
So what? Charles Rosa's fucking legit, bro. I mean, you say that Charles Rosa, Charles Rosa ain't legit.
Put Andre Feely against Charles Rosa. Who's winning that fight?
It's a fight.
I don't think it's a tough fight. I think it would be an easy fight for Feely.
I disagree.
But that's we're entitled to our opinions here. But
yep.
I think it was just a massive step up in competition. I think Feely's fought better competition than a Charles Rosa or something like that. And I thought, Fili's, wrestling and takedown defense was a lot better than Rosa, which it is. I truly believe his takedown defense, his wrestling is levels above Rosa. But Mitchell comes in and just surprises the hell out of me. His wrestling isn't on another level. His grappling is on another level. It's just he's there. I need him to progress in his striking a little bit better. But, that's what happens when you're, a grappler first. His striking will come. But, yeah, he impressed me. And I think he's...
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, I agree. No. I don't want him to stand and trade with anybody. He shouldn't. But I just want him to get a little bit better, That's all.
Yeah, well, but he will, I mean, he I think he looks a little bit better every time he fights.
He does.
But
he does, definitely. I agree.
And in all areas, and it's almost hard to imagine him looking better on the ground than he already does, because the guy's just like he's just like a fucking you're done. Yeah. I mean, he's the American Khabib right now. I mean, that's what he is, I mean, fucking
it's crazy, man. Like Fili tried, like against anybody else, Fili gets up. Period. I'm telling you, he gets up against anybody else. Mitchell he flowed with him. Every which way he moved, he just stuck to him. He couldn't get anywhere. It was so good. It really was.
Yeah, it was. I was, but the fight went exactly as I expected. I just, I felt that he was going to go in there and do that. And, he did. I mean, with very little resistance. I mean, he just, he implements his will and he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. And he does. And like I said, I think he had extra motivation, with the camo shorts. Maybe Fili couldn't see him coming. I don't know. That's been the joke all week long. If like you see people talking, damn, especially on his Facebook fan page, because when I put up a post when the camel shorts got released, I put up a post and he was like the second person to like it. I was like, oh, look at that, Bryce on his fucking social media, which he doesn't do. I've been promised an interview with Bryce for like the last year from his manager, Matt Weibel, but he just didn't want to do any media. And you haven't seen him do any media except for UFC only media.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are, post-fight press conferences, he doesn't have a choice. If he's there, you're going to get questions. But I'm going to see if I can get Matt to get him on my show here shortly. I'm going to make, dude, man, you got to get me the country boy. I need the country boy. I'll wear camo. I'll do what I got to do, man, to make him feel comfortable. I'll change my background to like a fucking, bunch of deer that need to fucking get shot, so he can feel, or I'll just have a big squirrel back behind my head. He loves squirrel. So, we'll just do it. But I want to get him on the show. I think it'd be a fun conversation. He's definitely going to, get risen up. And, next fight is going to be a big fight for him. Next fight, whoever he fights next, it's going to be a big name and people are going to be like, wow. But we move on to the main event. Anderson the Spider Silva in his final walk to the octagon against Uriah Primetime Hall, who many people felt Hall could have turned into Silva, but Hall couldn't get out of his own way. When they booked this fight, I was not excited about the matchup. I'm one of the believers. I put up a post about it yesterday. I don't even think, I didn't like this matchup. I don't think a fight should have happened. Anderson Silva going in was 1-6-1 in his last 8. Very BJ Penn-esque, if you will. Yeah. And he just doesn't have it anymore. He fought Izzy and, because him and Izzy stood there. And I think, even Uriah Hall, like last night, still was like showing too much respect to Anderson Silva as the legend that he was, standing across from him. And that's why it took him so long into the 4th round to finish the fight, because if Primetime went out there and did what he was supposed to at the beginning of the fight would have been over in the beginning of the fight.
Yeah.
I think he just, gave his own fanboy got in the way of him winning the fight early. And then he finally just said, all right, I got to, put the brakes on and just finish this guy. And he did. Dana White said he's not going to let him fight again ever. There's one fight left on his contract. Not going to let him fight again in the octagon. But we've heard that story before with BJ Penn. I'm not going to let him fight again. I'm not going to let him fight again. No, next time I'm not going to let him fight again. He kept fighting. I'm hoping Dana, meant what he said and don't put, Anderson Silva in a fight in the octagon ever again. The problem is I still believe that, and I hate to say it, but I think if the UFC, like gives him a release, we'll see him in Bellator.
Possible. I mean, it's all about the money.
They shouldn't want him there either. And that's the thing. They spend money for old names that are never going to deliver. Past their prime. Anderson Silva is well past that prime.
It's all about dollar signs, man. I mean, and as far as Scott Coker goes, he, whatever brings eyes to Bellator.
I know it's a freak show over there.
Exactly. So if he can get Anderson Silva under contract to fight some bum and make him look good, yeah, he's gonna do it. I think so. I can see it. Absolutely.
I just, I hate shit like that. Like, it just, there's no reason to. Anderson Silva, you don't have anything to prove to anybody at this point anymore. I mean, you've proven it to all of us. You still have the longest winning streak, consecutive win with 16 in the octagon, but you're continually tarnishing your legacy, and that's one of the reasons he's not my top 2 or 3 in the GOAT. It's John Jones, Amanda Nunes, Mighty Mouse, and GSP are kind of tied for me. Because GSP did it, with the champ thing and all that, but Mighty Mouse, owned a division, and beat everybody, and the title defense record is something that I take seriously. So, he's a beast. I know he couldn't fucking do the 135 thing, but whatever. He's a 125er, so that's what he is.
Even though now he's fighting at 135, but.
Yeah, they moved him up because the weight cut rules over there was one. So he was forced into it, but he's doing it healthier now than he would have done it over here in the UFC.
True.
Because they keep an eye on everything you do over there. Your intake and your how much you're dropping every day, the body weight percentage versus the water retention versus water release. I mean, they get into it over there. I think they're almost a little too much into it. That should be up to the fighter to do his thing. If they say, all right, this is where you got to come in. And I understand they're trying to protect the fighters, but one is a crazy organization. Like, you have to have a manager certificate to even manage fighters. So if some guys can't manage their own fighters over there,
Yeah, you have to be from there or live there for a couple of years.
And you got to do this and that. I mean, look, dude, I don't need to do any of that. I'm already this guy's fucking manager. If you want to fucking have him fight for you, you got to deal with me. If you don't want to have him fight for you, then fucking pop him off his contract. I'll go make him money somewhere else. I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's too much of them trying to control, me. That's like the government telling people in California how to eat their Thanksgiving dinner this year. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, man. Fucking, there's a line and it's gotten crossed. So,
I agree.
Overall, though, I mean, that fight night, let me pull this back up here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the
finishes.
11 fights were finishes. Forrest went 9-2 again. That motherfucker.
Who? Oh, he won again.
He went. Yeah, I mean, we weren't doing a contest. I only do the contest prize giveaways on pay-per-views.
Okay.
But yeah, he went 9-2 again. This guy. I don't know, dude. Fucking. You might have to fucking bring him in and make him part of your team, dude.
I don't know, man.
Dude, he picks like that all the time.
He's pretty good, though. He knows his stuff.
I'd say his winning percentage is probably better than yours.
If we're picking straight wins and losses.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the betting things that you do. I'm just saying straight wins. He's really good. He's very knowledgeable, and the way he says how they're gonna win and stuff like that. Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, fucking he does. He goes all in. I just go, all right. I just pick the winner. I don't go into rounds and how much fucking what kind of finish. Sometimes I'll do that, but I don't really do that. But he does, dude, and he's right a lot, dude. It's fucking crazy. I'm like, this motherfucker. Fucking, we might have to bring him into our world and fucking just let him pick straight wins, for people. Straight wins, straight fucking boom boom boom. Because like I said, he wins at an astonishing clip. I'm kind of like, how the fuck are you doing this shit, dude?
He's good at it. He's good at it. He knows his stuff.
He's got a gift, or he's got fucking some inside info, dude. Maybe he's got like an inside fucking deal or something going on, you know.
I try to get the inside information. That's why I like having some of these fighters as friends. So they give me some little insider tips when it comes to some of these bets. So, but doesn't always pan out, but it's always good.
Unless a fight is fixed, they can't give you any insider tips because they don't know what's going to happen. It's a fight.
No, it's just more so like, oh, someone's coming in with a pre-existing injury or something of the sort that most people really don't know about. Like one of my good friends told me to go in and bet heavy on Tafon Chukwi against Al Matavayo in his Contender Series fight. That's why I flew out to Vegas for it. And rightfully so, he came in with a second round knockout. It was just a thing of beauty. But he knew going in, like, it was a total mismatch. And then I looked into it. I'm like, damn, it was a massive mismatch. I'm like,
massive.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, and he's fighting soon, December 9th. I don't know how this man is making 185 pounds now. He was a heavyweight. And he finished William Knight 2 fights ago at 230. Now he's dropping all the way down to 185 to fight. I forgot what's his name. He was on the Contender Series as well. But man, that was gonna be a good fight. He's gonna come in and get another knockout in probably the first round.
Could happen.
I guess Jamie Pickett. There you go. That's who he's fighting. Jamie Pickett.
Jamie Pickett's tough out, dude. I wouldn't say that's easy win for either.
No, it's definitely not gonna be an easy win. Jamie Pickett's tough, but I'm
really tough.
I don't know. Tafon
interception. Sorry. That was a highlight.
How about,
I just looked up.
How
It was
them
the
Jets,
Broncos
though?
throwing a fucking pick to the fucking Chargers. I got the red zone on up here on the TV, so and I've watched them replay fucking every touchdown fucking today that
I've read so too.
Patrick Mahomes threw against my Jets.
Like all 4 or 5 touchdowns and 400 yards.
Touchdowns.
400 yards.
400-something yards, 5 touchdowns, motherfucker. We are on the Trevor Lawrence fucking track right now. We have to take
man. You guys need to start winning some games because I need my Vikings to get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, fuck off, man.
No,
you say your Vikings. What hat are you wearing?
I just wear a hat. I just because I like.
You can't wear a hat from another team if you're.
Yeah, can.
No, you can't.
I can wear whatever I want.
No, you can't. You have to turn in your fan card, bro.
No, that's not true.
No. Listen, especially a Bears hat.
Yeah, it's just a hat.
No.
Mind you,
that team.
Hold on. I didn't even buy this hat knowing I was getting a Bears hat. It was just like a mystery hat thing on. I think it was like 52 hats. I forgot the name of the hat company, but you just buy it. It was like $10, and they just ship you a hat. So,
all right,
this is the hat.
Here's what you do when they send you a Bears hat and you're a fucking Minnesota Viking fan who's in that same fucking goddamn division. You take that hat and you go, so I joined this 52 hat thing where they send you a hat and then they send me a fucking Chicago Bears hat. As a Minnesota fan, this is what I do. And you fucking light that bitch on fire and you burn it in fucking tribute to your fucking team.
Well,
you can't represent the team, especially a rival in your division, bro. Dude, you are not a Vikings fan because a real Vikings fan would never do that.
I'm a Vikings fan. I mean,
I'm a Jets fan. Do you ever think if the Miami Dolphins sent me a free hat, I'm a Jets fan. Did you ever think you would see me wearing that Dolphin hat? No. You know what I would do with that Dolphin hat? I would shit on it, in it, and then I would light it on fire on somebody's front door.
And guess what? They're second in the division, and y'all are 8-0-7.
We're 0-8, motherfucker. Don't
0-8
my record.
He's like, we're 0-8.
But listen, I don't care. Listen, I don't care what team's winning, what team's losing. You heard what I just said.
I know. I get it.
My team is 0-8, and I will still wear my Jets colors proud.
I need to know
this. I will never switch on my team, and I will never wear gear from another team. I won't even make a bet with somebody. Somebody say, "Hey, if you lose this bet, you got to wear my team's jersey in a picture." Fuck your mother, dude. I'm not doing that shit. I don't ever want to be seen in wearing some other fucking thing, jersey. Like I had to go to the store one day because I live in Tampa. You can't get a lot of Jets gear here, so they redid the jerseys. The last 2 years ago, I guess, when they redesigned our uniform. And I needed to try one on, a jersey in my size that I thought it was going to be, because then I had to order it online. So I go to the fucking Sports Fanatic, which is now, Lids fucking whatever crap, they changed the name, blah, blah, blah. But it's Sports Fanatic. That's what the store is called. I walk in there, and the only other team jersey that they had in stock that was the size I was looking for was a Patriots jersey.
Jesus.
They had a bunch of other team jerseys, but none of them were the size I needed. The other ones were all smaller or way gigantic. So I had to find the right size to fit, because I had to order this thing. And there's, these things are $135. So I'm not going to order one that ain't going to fit. So I had to actually, and I put it on in reverse. I flipped it inside out, and I closed my eyes, and I put it on. And I had my wife tell me if it looked normal. I didn't even want to see myself in the mirror. But then I had to look down, just to check it, dude. But that's how disgusted I was that I even had to fucking put that shit on. Like, I cried. I had to go home and take Xanax. It was rough.
But I need to know, is it the quarterback fault? Is it Sam Darnold, or is it Adam Gase? Because I don't think it's Darnold that's the reason why you guys are so bad.
Adam Gase.
Yeah, but so
Gase, and we have no talent. We don't have a
why
team,
are you campaigning for Trevor Lawrence like Sam Darnold's the reason why you guys are terrible?
I'm not campaigning for Trevor Lawrence like Sam Darnold is terrible. I just think, this is Sam's third year. And, in spite of a bad coach, I don't think Darnold has progressed as much as he should. Listen, there's a lot of guys out there that have bad coaches and no team around them, and they progress at the level they're supposed to.
But
Sam came in as a high pick, and he's too inconsistent right now. I mean, listen, bad play calling is one thing, and he can only run the plays that they're telling him to run. I get that, but he makes bad choices. He's too quick to throw a fucking ball rather than sometimes taking the sack. And sometimes you got to eat the fucking grass, motherfucker. That's the way this game works. And he'll throw fucking passes out and cost us fucking possessions. And, I don't know if he's in on the tank job this year. That they're saying, all right, tank, could it be, why would he tank his own job to bring in another quarterback? Yeah. I don't know. I do think Sam has a lot of talent. But I do think that even as shitty as it's been around there for him, players play and players step up.
True.
The good ones always do.
Yeah, but the thing is with Adam Gase is we've noticed the moment that players go elsewhere is when they progress with Adam Gase.
I mean,
Ryan Tannehill is now top 10 passer in the league. The team he left, they're now 4-3. That type of shit. Like Adam Gase is an extremely bad coach, and he should have been fired.
I don't know why the Jets hired him, because Peyton Manning fucking propped him up to the fucking Jets, because Peyton Manning said, he was good to me in fucking Denver. Listen, Peyton Manning fucking, I can go to, if Peyton Manning was still playing football, okay? And or better example, Tom Brady's playing football right now, right? I can go in there as the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I could look like I'm a star because Brady's winning. And this would be my conversation with Tom Brady before every game. Go do what you do, man.
Yeah, let's be honest. You're like, Byron Leftwich is not calling the plays out there. Brady knows what to do. You know what I mean?
Fucking the Buccaneers coach. What the fuck's his name again? Goddamn.
Bruce Arians.
That smug motherfucker tries to fucking act like he's fucking some superstar coach, dude. You're not. Yep. And fucking, I'm gonna hold these guys accountable. And Tom Brady, dude, shut the fuck up and continue to suck the cock of the fucking owners who brought fucking goddamn Tom Brady to you.
Yep. But and you look at it, like everybody wanted Josh McDaniels as their head coach. Josh McDaniels has been doing absolutely nothing with Cam Newton as their quarterback.
I thought about that too, and then I started watching the season play out. I was like, well, maybe not Josh McDaniels. And that's my worry about Eric Bieniemy. Although I think he's a solid coordinator. What's he going to do without Patrick Mahomes? So if we're going to bring in a guy, and that's where the Trevor Lawrence thing comes in. If we're going to bring in Bieniemy, do we want to bring him into Sam Darnold, who's got 3 years of fucking fucked up relationships with 3 different fucking this and 2 different coaches and 3 different coordinators, and he's got so much jumble going on in his head. He's got a great attitude. Or do we want to bring in a star of the future and a guy like Trevor Lawrence who can grow with Bieniemy from day one and learn Bieniemy's system, and Bieniemy can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like a package, because fucking we got to get rid of Gase. I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he should be gone already.
I think they haven't gotten rid of Gase now because I think Christopher Johnson knows he's going to have to fire this guy. But I also think Christopher Johnson, even though he shouldn't be fucking doing anything with football operations because he's a total clown, him and his family don't know anything about football. Actually, for the Jets, the first move to make is to hire a president of football operations that has football in their blood, like they eat, shit, sleep, walk, talk, fart, fuck football. That's their life. And it's been for at least 35 or 40 years. That's the guy we need to bring in as the president of football operations. At that point, Johnsons should sit over on the sidelines, and the only thing they should do is write the check when fucking whoever that fucking guy they bring in says, hey, we need a check for this. Hey, we need a check for that. Go sit up in the owner's box, shut the fuck up and leave me alone and let me fucking build you a winning team. And then keep your fucking noses out of it. Because look what the Jets have done. I know we're going off on an MMA show, but I don't know. Fuck, it's my show. I can do whatever I want. They hired Adam Gase as the head coach, and then they hired a GM. And then they hired a defensive coordinator. Fucking, they didn't have the coach have any input. They just hired Greg Williams. That's not how you build a team. The president of football operations hires a general manager. The general manager and the president of football operations, in conjunction with conversation, hire a head coach. Then the head coach fucking hires his staff, whatever coordinator he wants, and they all communicate and they all get on the same page. The GM doesn't go, well, I want to hire this guy, and fucking the president of the company is going to hire that guy, and we're just going to tell you guys you have to figure out how to make it work. Not in football. That's not the way it does it. Maybe in other jobs in the real world, hey, this is it. But football is different. Sports are different, So you don't, and the coach has too much, say over player personnel when you haven't proven it, man. You're not fucking Bill Parcells. You're definitely not Bill Belichick. You're not fucking Bill Cowher. Well, I just ran up 3 bills. You're not Bill Walton. Fucking hey, let's just keep that shit going. But the point being, those teams were built the right way. They like the Dallas Cowboys with Jerry Jones back in the day when fucking Jimmy Johnson was there, and they built a fucking winning team through the draft. They grew these guys all in together. The coaching staff was brought in by Jimmy Johnson, and they built something. The same thing in New England. They built something there. Robert Kraft hired fucking Belichick. They had a fucking this and that, and then fucking Belichick hired his coaches and brought in his system and his staff, and he's proven it. The Jets have this guy from over here, this guy from over here. Hey, I think that guy was working at UPS last summer. Let's make him a coach. Fucking, fucking morons. Hey, this guy got fired from his job because his team sucked every year he was there. Let's make him our head coach.
That's exactly what they did. It's exactly what they did.
We know this guy, but hey, no, we shouldn't. No, we know him. He's in our division. We know all about him. We should definitely hire him. Really?
Yeah, that was a very bad hire. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Wasn't he the GM at one point too? Like making decisions?
Oh, he had decision over player personnel. I just don't get it.
That was crazy.
Your track record. I don't care if Peyton Manning says fucking you make the best omelet and you fucking cup his balls better than anybody on the planet Earth. You can't coach football, Gates. You suck. You weren't even an offensive coordinator. You're riding the coattails of Peyton Manning's success when you didn't really do shit except probably cup his balls in fucking the training room. That's about all you were worth.
He's going to college. He's going to college after this year. I think so.
What's he going to do in college?
I don't know.
Ruin kids before they get to the pros? No.
I mean, he can run a deep. He can run a D2 program.
Dude, he couldn't run a fucking Pee-wee fucking league program, man. Let's be real, dude.
Oh, no, now you're being a little harsh there.
Dude, my team is 0-8. Go fuck yourself, harsh.
Hey, my team only has 2 wins, so I mean, and we have Kirk,
Well,
and we paid Kirk Cousins the most asinine contract in
that
all.
was super too, but dude, you still got 2 wins.
Great. I wish we were 0-8, so we can try to get someone good at a quarterback. I want Justin Fields because we're not going to get Trevor Lawrence.
Justin Fields?
Yeah, I'd rather get him. Kirk Cousins is trash.
People are talking about him. I don't know if I'm sold on him.
I don't care. I want anybody but Kirk Cousins as my quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah, your team isn't drafting quarterback this year.
No, we will if we get rid of Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer's not going anywhere.
Well, that sucks because he's not really doing anything. Our defense is trash. He got rid of our entire defensive backs. So now look what we have. We have absolutely nothing. We can't stop the pass to save our lives. He's a defensive coach, and we have arguably one of the worst defenses in all of football. So I don't know where we're going to go from here. A lot of things need to shake up. So my team has never won a Super Bowl ever.
What now?
The Vikings have never, ever won a Super Bowl.
That's because their asshole fans wear Chicago Bears hats on TV.
Hey. You know what? I don't want to hear it.
I'm just saying, bro, you're talking about the Vikings and you're pimping a Bears hat, dude. I don't care if you got it free. It's horrible, dude. Listen, there are 32 teams in the NFL, right?
If I had a Vikings hat, I'd be wearing it.
Question. How many teams are in the NFL?
32.
All right, so there's 32 teams in the NFL. How many teams in the NFL do you think I give a shit if they die in a plane crash?
31.
Correct. How many teams do you think I care about?
What?
Okay. What's my team's record?
0-8.
Right. And I'm still not wearing another team's hat, even if it's fucking free. That's the point. I'm done with you, Garrett. I'm fucking done with you. It's embarrassing, dude. You can't be a fan of your team wearing a division rival hat.
I know.
And it's all on video, dude, so it's never going away.
You know what?
I might clip out this.
You know what? I like this hat.
Just share this with the Minnesota fan base.
I like my hat. It's never going anywhere. Being a Vikings fan, I still like this hat.
The Bears hat, dude. You shouldn't like it. You can't like it. It's supposed to be in your DNA.
You know what? It looks good on me.
Yeah, for a Bears fan.
Oh man, we got an event coming up in 2 weeks, man.
Who does?
You got an event in 2 weeks.
Where?
Bare knuckle fighting championship.
I was just trying to fucking get you to fucking drop it out. Drop it like it's hot. Bare knuckle fighting championship number 14 takes place November 13th in Miami, Florida, live on the BKTV app at www.bktvapp.com. 2 title fights. Jim Allers will go out and try to wrestle. Well, I can't say wrestle. He's going to try to knock the title off the waist of Luis Palomino and become the bare knuckle fighting 155 champion, as well as the Police Gazette 155-pound champion. We also have interim title fight with Dak Gwynn versus Reggie Barnett Jr. Because Johnny Bedford is injured and we don't know how long he's going to be out.
Man, wow. That's going to be insane. I'm so pumped for that event. So pumped. Those 2 fights are going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. But we'll have to do a show about that later on the week because we've gone way off the rails here. We became an MMA show, a football show, fucking a fan hating on a fan show for wearing the wrong fucking gear, fucking but saying I'm a fan of this team.
Shooting the shit. Having a good time.
Dude, you don't realize how many man laws you violated today on the show.
I don't want to hear it,
No, you should hear it, dude, because fucking people pay attention.
I hope not.
Some Viking, somehow, some way, this video is going to make it to the Minnesota Vikings video room or something. Then they're going to come hunt you down.
I think they will.
Absolutely, I got juice like that, bro. Listen, GK, man, always a pleasure to have you, man. I always love chatting with you, dude. And what I love about you is we can talk about all the sports, dude. Fucking, so fucking some people can't. Like some MMA guys don't know anything about football.
Oh, I've like, football was my passion since I was little. I mean, granted, I don't know if I've told you this, but like I used to play the video game Madden professionally for quite some time. So football, like I said, was my number one sport. I've been watching I've still been watching MMA for like 15 plus years as well. So I like everything.
Badminton was my number one sport. I was one of the fucking top 5 ranked badminton players in the world once.
Is that for real? Like, are you just shitting me?
Do I look like I'm shitting you?
No.
Because I am. All right, there we go. I'm making my own bobblehead. Oh man, I love this stuff, man. I love just doing this, dude. And right now, until they have no viewers, I don't even care. I don't even care if anybody goes back and watches this. I'm kind of hoping they don't, but you just never know. So, but as always, there were people watching a little while ago that I do know. So I'm gonna go look at the views. I'm gonna say we had 47 views for this episode. It's a Sunday. It's football Sunday. Fights are over. It wasn't a pay-per-view. We all expected Anderson to get knocked out. He did. So, things went as we were supposed to yesterday.
We got Contender Series coming up this Wednesday, too.
Yeah, I know. It's a Wednesday night. Maybe we'll talk about it on Tuesday night. I have to go look at the card. I haven't done any research on it yet. I
just know that Vince Murdoch is fighting, and I'm super excited to watch him come back to MMA. Big time. So
maybe Tuesday night I'll have you jump in with me. And, by the way, for you guys out there, the Fight Analyst has been having a little verbal or a little social media war with a guy named Bam Alex Bam on Facebook.
Oh, my God.
If you're on Garrett's page, that's cool. If you're on Bam Alex Bam's page, go look it up. And you'll see the post. It's good stuff. I highly encourage these social media beefs sometimes. So,
oh my God, terrible.
And sometimes there's guys out there that talk so much shit and think they're the end all be all for the fight world. And anybody else
I don't fight. I don't know anything about sport.
Just because I don't fight, just because Garrett don't fight doesn't mean we know shit. Doesn't mean we don't know shit. Just means we know that we're not fighters.
Yeah.
We know that. That's not who we are. So, why try to perpetrate like we were? I wrestled a little bit in high school. I wasn't good at it. It wasn't my sport. I was little. I didn't want to do it. Anyway, I was a baseball guy when I grew up, baseball and football, but I played baseball in high school. The wrestling room wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to go out there and hit some balls, run some bases, make a few outstanding catches, and then go behind the dugout and smoke a blunt. That's what I was doing. So,
there you go.
Wrestling room, those guys were nuts. Wasn't my thing. So, is what it is. But, sometimes guys talk shit and sometimes they have to be put in their place by those that can, may be able to out grapple me, but you're never going to out gab me, and you're never going to outthink me. So, and if I decide to go all in on somebody, I'm relentless.
That you are.
And just so because some people out there will say, if you step to me, try to physically check me, I'm gonna do what I got to do. And if that, and I always said if I was a professional MMA fighter, that it would be just like a street fight, man. A street fight, anything goes, right? So if I have to knee in the balls to get my advantage, I'm going to. In MMA, I can get away with knee in the nuts once before I get a point taken away. And then when the next you come back after the nut shot, take your 5 minutes. Go ahead. Because when you come back in, I'm going to poke you in the eye. Because it's a different foul. So I'm not going to get penalized for it. I'm going to get one. So it's strategy, man. It's all strategy, dude. In a street fight, there's no ref to stop me from doing it. So, you got to use what you can to your advantage. So, just know that going in.
You're crazy, man.
Yeah, sometimes I am a little crazy. Oh, man. But anyway, guys, for you guys that just tuned in, man, go back and watch the beginning of this train wreck. We've been on for 2 hours, and we have talked about all kinds of stuff. Garrett's fake fandism of being a Minnesota Vikings fan, although he's wearing a Bears hat. Garrett's got a social media war going on with Bam Alex Bam. It's going to turn fucking even more fun because Garrett and I have talked about it. So I'm hoping he follows the lead I laid out for him. And because I gave you some good advice, dude. And trust me, dude, it's what you want to do with a guy like that. But we talked about all the fights. We talked about, actually, one thing, what's going to be your greatest memory to take away of Anderson Silva as he walks away? I almost forgot to do that.
I mean, I will always remember going to Hooters to see him fight Vitor Belfort. I got there super early, 7 o'clock, just to get a seat, watching the entire fight to come to the very main event, and he knocks him out cold within like a minute. I'm like, I waited 4 hours for this, and that's what we get. I'm like, and he's one of the greatest fighters we will ever see. Ever, period. I know, he didn't end his career well, it is what it is, but that doesn't take away from what he's done in the sport for our entertainment.
It does a little.
I mean, a little, but he's still one.
You're 1-7-1 in your last 9 fights. So that's 9 fights where, it looks bad. And that takes a little. That's why I said strip. That's why I moved down where I would put him in the GOAT status. Because
but when you think of Anderson Silva, do you even think about his last 9 fights? Like I personally think about like what I said, like the better moments.
I think about the freshest memories of Anderson Silva. My freshest memory of Anderson Silva is Uriah Hall. Knocked him down, knocked him out. That's it. Him fucking hugging the referee's leg to fucking hold on for dear life at the end of that fight. That's what I remember. Yeah. I do remember, I remember him fucking, being dominant and being, cocky and, screwing with guys inside the octagon. That was great. I remember when Chris Weidman knocked him out the first fight because he got cocky and fucking somebody said, fuck you, I'm not going to fall for your shit, and dropped him. And then I remember when fucking Chris Weidman fucking checked a kick that broke his leg. Everybody doesn't give Chris Weidman the credit for that fucking leg check. But leg checking is part of fighting. It's defensive tactics. So he checked the kick because he knew it was coming, and Anderson broke his leg and fight was over. I remember all the moments. But for me, at the end of the day, he's tarnished his legacy some. Is he still a Hall of Famer first ballot? 100% yes.
Yeah.
Not going to take that away from a guy who, had such a great title reign. But it doesn't mean that I don't think about the last as the most recent, my recent memories of him, and as I'm getting older, fucking the other memories are just going to fade away, and I'm probably going to get Alzheimer's and not remember my fucking name. So, it's going to be the last thing I saw, and that was him on the ground holding onto a referee's leg, which is fucking such a horrible thing to see, from such a warrior, So, but, he had a great career, long title reign, some phenomenal, crazy moments inside the octagon. From, the Vitor thing, to moving up the light heavyweight and taking dudes out, and then come back down and defending his belt to, him speaking English for the first time in the octagon after Chris Weidman knocked him the fuck out, made him fucking hit him so hard. It was like Rosetta Stone instant. You know what I mean? It was just fucking great. Yeah.
That's so funny because it's so true.
It's 100% true, dude. And I brought it up as soon as it happened. Go, man, I put up a post about it, and I think I even wrote an article about it on my old website where I was like, Weidman fucking Rosetta Stone, Anderson Silva, in the first ever post fight interview in English. Like, and he was talking pretty clean in English, like fucking, like he was already in like chapter 9 of that fucking Rosetta Stone shit. It wasn't like broken. It was like, he did it, he won, and he bit me in the face, and he punched me in the face, and I fell down, and he was clear. His crowd was like, man, this motherfucker been lying to us all this time. Can speak English, or fucking Chris Weidman Rosetta Stoned his ass fucking with a punch. That's all I could come up with, man. But great moments. Always be remembered. But for me, the freshest moments in the last 9 fights, that weighs heavy on my memory.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
When was the last time we saw him have a good moment?
I can't remember, to be honest with you. I can't.
There you go. So. That's why for him and guys like BJ Penn that, fought so long when they shouldn't have, people forget that BJ Penn was a 2-division champion, but he was.
Yeah.
But, fucking he's got a career 500 record right now, I think. So,
The last member we have with BJ Penn is getting knocked out on the street on TMZ.
Yep, that's it, and he did better in that fight than he did in any of his fucking recent octagon appearances. So, I mean, that's saying something. Not to be mean, I'm just speaking the facts, man. Some people you can't handle the truth, don't watch my show. It's just that simple because we speak the truth. That's why I called Garrett out for his fake fandom of being a Minnesota Vikings fan wearing a Bears hat. I keep driving that point home. Hopefully he's going to get it. He still hasn't taken the hat off, though. Apparently he's not catching the vibe.
See, when I have this kind of hair, this is not how, this is why I wear a hat.
Yeah.
Didn't do my hair today, so that's why I had the Bears hat on. You would have a driver's cap of the Jets.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, man. You would have that. With the glasses on and everything.
Hey guys, welcome to Case I'm Christopher James. I am a Jets fan. I'm sorry that I am a Jets fan. No, I'm not sorry. I'm a fucking representing. Never catch me wearing some bullshit fucking gear from another fucking team. Oh, look, Garrett took it. Dude, you got good hair, bro. You're like a fucking Guido guy from fucking Brooklyn I grew up with. Like, hey, fucking Tony, how you doing, huh? So.
Oh, man. This guy. You're crazy.
Just saying, bro. Just saying.
I didn't do my hair today, so I had to wear a hat. You got to rip me for, wearing a Bears hat,
I got to rip you for wearing a Bears hat because you're a Vikings fan.
Yeah.
Self-professed Vikings fan wearing a Bears hat.
Well, my team's not winning, so.
So what? My team hasn't won all year, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I've got a closet full of jerseys. I've got like fucking 35 Jets jerseys in here. I've got over fucking 75 Jets hats. Fucking, I buy more gear every year because I'm a fucking glutton for punishment. And dude, look, here's my mouse pad. Old logo, new logo, refresh logo, fucking dead logo. I've got them all, dude. You know why? Because I'm a Jets fan.
My dad too, so he feels your pain.
Your dad's a Jets fan?
Yeah.
Fucking.
He's New York, New Jersey fan of all those sports. I'm not a fan of any New York or New Jersey team other than the Devils. But yeah, other than that,
I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a Miami Heat original day one season ticket holder fan, and I'm a New York Islanders fan. And the only reason I ended up and I'm also a Miami Hurricanes fan because I didn't know about college football until I, started going to high school, didn't really pay attention to it because it didn't mean anything. And I was going to high school in South Florida and I had guys that I went to school with that were on my varsity football team that, went to the NFL, they went to the University of Miami. So I naturally, supported my guys. That's how I fell in love with the Canes.
Yeah.
And basketball, I didn't really follow a lot of basketball when I was younger. And when I did, I it would be like the Chicago Bulls because fucking I didn't know any better. Yeah. As I got a little older, I said, "Oh, they're putting a basketball team in my town." I was living in South Florida. I said, "I'm going to go get season tickets," and I did.
Nice.
And I just recently gave them up like 3 years ago. So that's a long run with season tickets. But I don't live down there. It's too hard to get down there for all the games. But I can still go to any game I want because I sold them to my old dentist. So whenever I need them, I just call them and go, "Hey man, I want 2 tickets," and I go. Yeah. So, but I'm not supporting any other team ever.
I'm a sports fan. I'm
a sports fan too. Listen, I like watch. Listen, I'm watching football right now for no reason except I like football. I'm watching. I can watch these two teams play and not have any vested interest, so I don't get emotional. I had to stop playing fantasy football because I couldn't fucking live with myself picking Tom Brady and fucking Rob Gronkowski anymore as Patriots. But if I wanted to win my fantasy league, I certainly wasn't picking any Jets quarterbacks in tandems, you know what I mean? Because there were none to pick.
Yeah.
A couple of times I got lucky, picked the Jets defense, and I got lucky, you know, if I fucking won a game here and there because the defense got me the extra 2 points I needed that day. But other than that, dude, I mean, fucking, you know, I'm sitting there watching football Sundays with all my friends, and I'm cheering for Tom Brady to score fucking big numbers, but I'm a Jets fan. It was rough. I had to give up fantasy sports.
Yeah, I've been playing fantasy since I was 9, so yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, man.
Yep, I know how it goes. All
right, brother. We have eclipsed the 2 hour and 10 minute mark. That's a long show.
Yes, yes, sir. Gotta go off the mark there a little bit, but we're good.
You know, but it's all right, man, because again, it's my show. I'm the boss, and fucking we can talk about whatever we want. You know, when you do yours, that's the beauty of this stuff, man.
Damn right.
I can see the reflection of the fucking ring light, but it's only on my glass. I can't see when it's in my eyes. That's the look I'm going for. I like it. I'm gonna have to get a better ring light and get a different camera set up. But anyway, Garrett, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. I will hit you up during the week. I'm probably gonna do something on Tuesday night with a couple of people, so I might bring you in for that to jump in.
Absolutely.
And then we'll have our bitch session about the things that are wrong with MMA.
I'm with it. I can't wait.
My God, it's gonna be nuts. All right. Well, listen, you enjoy the day.
You too, man.
I'm glad to hear that your kid is not crazy behind you anymore.
No. Sorry, he calmed down a little bit. You know.
Well, no, it's okay. Like I said, no apologies. Like I like when the kids do get a little crazy because usually it's crazy, and then they fall down face first and take a nap right where they're standing, and then you can enjoy yourself.
Unfortunately, that's not my son. He doesn't nap, and then he goes to bed like when we do. So,
wow,
all day.
That's fucked up. Yeah, my grandson, the same thing. I keep telling our daughter, put that kid to bed early. Give him a bath at fucking 8 o'clock. He's 2 years old, and then put him to bed, you know? But he don't want to go to bed, and, you know, so he's a night owl already, man. He's already got, like, club hours. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Exactly. That's how it is here.
Crazy. But that's real life. It's not just her or you. A lot of people have it like that. It's just, you know, that's the way their life is, so that's the way it goes. Yeah. I still go, put that kid to bed, man. And then, like, I'll call up when he's, like, giving her a hard time. I'll go, JJ, go to sleep. And he goes, like, he'll stop wherever he is when I tell him, like, everybody else tells me to sleep. But when Grandpa says it, he just stops and goes to sleep. And then he go, I'm awake. You weasel, go to sleep.
Kids, man, kids.
Yeah, but I love them. So anyway, listen, you enjoy the rest of your day. It's Sunday. We got some Sunday night football coming up. No pro wrestling tonight, so that kind of sucks. I like the Sunday pay-per-view shit. And I'm going to go eat some leftover meatloaf that my wife made yesterday because it was fucking delicious.
You have a good one, man.
I will, brother. You and the family have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again soon, brother. Like I said, I'll hit you up tomorrow and let you know what's going on for Tuesday.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate it. You guys.
Always appreciate you. Have a good one, man.
All right, man. See you later.
Boys and girls, that was KSR Christopher James and my buddy Garrett Kerman, the fight analyst. And, you know, we always have fun, man. Sometimes we go off the rails. We talk about football and this and that and the other thing, you know, and that's what we did for the last little bit of the show. Our show. We do what we want. We will have some good interviews coming up on Tuesday. I'll have some guests on for you, and I'm working on those right now. Plus, we'll, you know, talk about the Contender Series on Wednesday night. And that's it. I'm going to go hang out with my wife. It's my day off. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I am always appreciative of you guys letting me be a part of your lives today, and you guys being a part of mine, and never will I ever be able to truly put into words what that means. Until next time, I am Christopher James. Y'all, you've been Cage Side. Good night, everybody.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little fudge of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Fill up the deuces. There you go, baby.